All right. Welcome back to the channel, guys. You already know who it is. It is your boy, Kel Fowler, aka KEO, man. And today we are doing another trade breakdown, man. A little recap on how I sniped a little banger today, man. A sniper entry, as the kids would say, sniper, no sniping. Nah, I'm just playing. But yeah. So today the bias was bullish for the ES. You guys know that's all I trade. We're still on the March contract. Yeah. So yesterday we obviously were up almost $1,000 until we got stopped in profits for $200. But again, we lived to trade another day. And what did we do? We came back today and we killed it, right? So we made a little over $800. That's about $1,000 in 2 days. And yeah, so bias was bullish going into the day. You can see we are in this 4-hour POI, which we were anticipating price to reach into yesterday before we reached up into this area. But as you guys know, again, stopped in profits. And yeah, long story short, we are back here in this area. This was that shift in market structure we were looking at. So this is really just a short-term low that's getting ran. So I'm like, okay, we've shifted bullish on the 4-hour. So this is a little, 15-minute liquidity run. So at this point, I'm basically just watching price action. And I'm really going to scale down from this point because I'm noticing we have obvious highs. We have the Asia high, London high, pre-market highs, and of course, the previous day's high, tied in with the target we wanted to see hit yesterday. So yeah, as we got into this 4-hour point of interest, going into market open, again, if you guys haven't been tapped into the Telegram, it is in the description. We traded this live today in the VIP trading network. I will give you guys links for access to that if you guys want to see us trade live every day. This was the idea. It kind of looked like yesterday's trade, basically, where price kind of came up here into this area and we kind of consolidated. But as you can see, we closed below this little low right here, kind of ran like these lows. So to me, this was just some short-term liquidity grabs, kind of building up liquidity to push the markets higher. So as 9:30 came in, it's kind of what I was expecting was a bullish push. And as you guys can see right off the rip, what do we notice? Even after that second candle closure, we get a what? A fair value gap. All right, a fair value gap that we are anticipating for price to not only retest, but we want to see it test it and then push away towards our targets, which is liquidity. Again, if you guys seen any of my last videos, you guys know that I like to target liquidity and I use liquidity for entry and exit points, okay? So right here, this is my entry point. We ran this short-term low all the way over here, which you can see on the 1 hour, we shifted right here, but obvious short-term low. So that's what I was looking for as we got into this area. We seen price shift. We had our bullish candles confirming this as a low. And then just to kind of give you guys more clarity, so once we got up here, yes, we did get these two bearish candles, which did confirm this as a low. But same scenario, even though we did close right here and shift, have that change in the state of delivery, right? Even though we had this right here, this low was still liable to what? Get ran. It literally is the same exact thing on the higher time frame that we are looking at, right? So this is that 4 hour or that 1 hour low that's getting ran, and then price is doing what? Shifting. Once it's shifted right here, it's distributing. So all on a high frequency time frame, you're just seeing price really build itself up. And all you're doing is paying attention to how these candles close. So wherever the candles close, that's where you want to go towards. So volume's obviously shifting bullish as the bias was bullish. Retail sentiment also was short still today. So there was still the anticipation of shorts today, which I did hear a lot of chatter in the chats about shorts. So, that helped build more confidence into my bias going into today. And yeah. And another key note, you guys know I don't really trade the first 15 minutes of market open. As juicy as it looks most of the times, I try to sit on my hands because this is where the most manipulation happens. Okay, so first 15 minutes after market open, you typically see some kind of chop or either some kind of just accumulation move, or either it'll just shoot one way or another. Many different scenarios, but as you guys can see, this isn't the first fair value gap that pops up after 9:30, but this is a fair value gap that lines up with this shift in market structure or our change in the state of delivery, right? So we have shifted bullish after taking out this low, boom, come up here, and then we shift one more time. So this is where I wanted my entry. I just want to see how price continued to close. And as price moved more and more bullish, I was like, okay, well, we're continually breaking highs. We're also testing this bank level. Okay. So a lot of confluences lining up, and we're also about to break this high. So multiple highs being broken just screams extreme bullishness. Okay. So we have these highs in sight. And basically at this point, this is where I essentially sent my setup out to the Telegram. And yeah, how did I decide on how to find my targets? Well, again, I use ICT and SMC concepts. So let me go ahead and pull out my fib tool. And this is actually the settings that I learned from ICT, his silver bullet settings for the fibs. It's essentially just different levels of deviations where we can potentially target. And just to kind of give us an idea of, okay, if we are going to take our long right here, what target is going to give us the best risk to reward? So obviously stops would be at this low, trusting that this would be the low of the day. Oops. The low. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That looks a lot better. So two to 2 to 1 risk to reward. So you're gonna get about 17.5 points, risking 8.75. So almost 9 points, right? So you're getting 2 times your risk, right? So overall, this was the trade, and basically this is how it went. After Jerome Powell eventually speaks. So at this point, I'm essentially just waiting on my entry and basically waiting for that volume to kick in around this time. So around this time, I was expecting some kind of move to give us that push that we needed ultimately just to get to our target. So as price plays on, we start to get that volume kicking in, and just as anticipated, price comes down. And as soon as price comes down, we get tapped in just by it just nicked us in right there, right? So again, just a sniper entry. And at this point, I'm like, okay, let me see how we start to close. We got a nice rejection candle and we followed by a bullish candle, okay? So the way I'm looking at this is, okay, look, let's go ahead and get a little technical just for you nerds out there, all right? So if you guys know what a consolidation range is, this is what it looks like, right? When there is liquidity resting on both sides. So essentially, you had buy side liquidity and sell side liquidity resting on both sides. So, oh, right, little range, and we get a manipulation up here, and then what? We get this whole drop lower. So this right here is just a manipulation move just to trap all the sellers, get them interested in the sells just to send it back up and stop them out. As we did over here, we came up here and we eventually got all the buyers interested and stopped them out to the downside. All right, sorry about that. I'm sure you guys heard the phone in the background, but just to kind of finish this up, I had to handle a little bit of business for the Airbnbs. But yeah, as you guys can see, I basically just let price kind of do its thing. And as price kind of got up here, we eventually hit TP, and that was my day in a nutshell. Hopefully you guys learned something from this. Essentially, all we are looking at is just pure price action at this point. We're just looking for liquidity to get hit, and we're looking for price to kind of do its thing and show us how we are supposed to be moving. So with that being said, man, it's your boy KEO. I got some more business to handle. As you guys can hear, the phone is going crazy. So with that being said, man, you guys have a blessed day. And yeah, let's get it.